PDP. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem. The second stanza of the national anthem should be our adopted prayers.
Let me, on behalf of the organizing committee for this occasion, request all of us to be on our feet for a minute silence in honor of Barrister Ifeanyi Okowa, who was a member of this committee and who has been called to glory. Please, in silence, let's be on our feet for a minute silence. Silence, please. May the Lord grant him eternal rest. May the Lord comfort his family, immediate family. May the Lord comfort our leader, the former Vice President, and give them the fortitude to bear the loss. Please be seated. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and to this peculiar gathering that revolves around our great party, the PDP, and our presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar Wazirin Adamawa, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and by the grace of God, the next President of this nation. Excuse me, please. Please. We are in a serious business. Can we be quiet, please?
Please, gentlemen, be quiet. Thank you.
Let me thank the leadership of our great party, the PDP, for accepting the special arrangement made to manage our time and resources in this event. This event is unique because it is 2 in 1. It is also unique because although we have come from different directions, we are heading for one direction. And the common direction is that of the mission of our party, the PDP, to rescue our country, Nigeria, under the leadership of our presidential candidate, former Vice President Atiku, through the mandate of the people. I welcome you all to this event of today, which is the presentation of some books that tell the story of the man Atiku. His childhood and formative development, his struggles as an orphan who grew up to overcome the challenges of lack and deprivation to become the political colossus that he is today, a businessman and a philanthropist. These books tell the story of former Vice President Atiku's vision for national unity, growth, and development. His role in our country's democratic rebirth during the last military regime, his struggles in deepening of our nascent democracy through judicial feats and processes, which have added value to the body of language in jurisprudence and constitutionalism. Above all, in his book, on restructuring. He takes us on a broad outline why he thinks it is inevitable in order to address the existing contradictions in our political union as a nation. Your Excellencies, permit me to reveal that former Vice President Atiku is a shy person and is not too eager at telling his own story, particularly when it is necessary. But like Chenua Achebe said, and I quote, "The story of hunting will always favor the hunter until the hunted becomes the storyteller." There is no doubt that former Vice President Atiku has been a victim of this weakness of his not wanting to tell his own story for long. The consequence has been that political opponents have cashed on it to spread unfounded rumors and cocktail of lies against his person, and in the process cause monumental misunderstanding to his public perception. And I dare say that former Vice President Atiku has been the haunted in Nigerian politics. And I want, as a way of testimony, and it is very important, when I was the governor of Adamawa State for 8 good years, 1999 and 2000 to 2007, 2 very damaging rumors were going around at that time. One was that I was always sharing money with Vice President Atiku from my security vote. But I want to say, and my younger brother, Governor Fintri, is here, I have never, in my 8 years as a governor, taken security vote, let alone share it with former Vice President Atiku. I have never. The second damaging rumor during my time as governor and when he was Vice President was that the American university he established, that it was established or built with Adamawa money. If I can remember, the American University, Yola, started in 2005 or thereabout, the construction. And I remember to have gone to the site and assessed the buildings that were going on, the constructions that were going on that time. And it was to the tune of almost 5 billion. Meanwhile, my monthly receipt was within the range of 800 to 900 million. So tell me, at what point was I able to gather over almost 5 billion to give Vice President Atiku to build American University of Yola? I left office 10 years ago. These rumor mongers should also be asked now. How has American University been funded since I left office? Since I have not been there now for the past 15 years, how has the university been funded? So these are some of the very damaging rumors, lies that were being paraded around and which had caused and still cause monumental misunderstanding to his perception to the perception of his personality. Your Excellency, There is no other better time than now for Nigerians to know about you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am not the book's reviewer. I'm only welcome you in appreciation of your presence here today. You are most welcome. Enjoy as we watch and listen to the word about Atiku. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Daram dam dam. You're welcome, Your Excellency.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Wazirin Adamawa, and our incoming President, inshallah. I'd like to specially recognize your beautiful wife, Titi Abubakar, and Haja Rukaya Abubakar. Your Excellency, my brother, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, the Governor of Delta State, and our Vice President, Shun. Excellency, Senator Iochka Ayu, our great national chairman, ably represented here by Ambassador Bello Damagum, the Vice Chairman North. His Excellency, Senator Adolphus Guabara, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the PDP. My brother, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Aminu Tambuwal, Matawal Sokoto, the seat of the Caliphate, and Governor of Sokoto State. Today is a great day, and all thanks belongs to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the Alamin, who has graciously granted us this day to witness this very important event of presenting the books Atiku Abubakar and the inauguration of the presidential campaign of the People's Democratic Party that will inshallah lead Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to the presidential villa, inshallah. There are 3 books that are being presented today. The story of Atiku Abubakar, landmark constitutional laws, cases in Nigeria, and restructuring as a pathway to unity and development. My duty today is not to present any paper or speak. I'm chairing the occasion and ensuring that it is properly conducted. But I'm not oblivious of this singular opportunity to take a last paragraph in one of the books. And it says, the Waziri of Adamawa, Atiku Abubakar, is no doubt the most adequately prepared presidential candidate who understands Nigeria's challenges and has the capacity to address them. You can't read this book without appreciating him as a political driver who not only has the experience to drive the car, but also knows the road on how to rescue Nigeria. It is very important that at this stage, that from today, the campaign commences for that journey. It is really important that we all put our hands on deck, cooperate fully with each other, and ensure victory at the end of the day. Let us now relax and listen carefully to the book reviewer, presenters, unveilers, and launchers. Thank you, and God bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
It is the sad story of a present-day Nigeria, and it only exists in the realm and the minds and thoughts and actions of the misgovernance that we all see, that is the hallmark of the APC.
My eye, APC, what I run away, my eye, what I run away. When I remember poverty, what I run away, me, I. What I run away, me, I. When I remember corruption, what I run away, me, I, oh. What I run away. When I remember to strike, what I run away, me, ayo. What I run away, when I remember insecurity, what I run away, me, ayo.
That are going to be presented to the public today, all written in honor of the man whose time has come, the man for whom we are all gathered here today, namely His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, MSc, GCON. The books are as follows, and it is in this format, or in this very sequence, that the review will be done. First will be the book titled Atiku, the story of Atiku Abubakar, by none other than our late colleague and member of the Atiku political family, the late Dr. Adinoye Ojo Onukaba of blessed memory. The second book is titled The Landmark Constitutional Law Cases in Nigeria, 2004 to 2007, the Atiku Abubakar Cases, written by yours truly with Chudi N. Ojuku, LLM. The third is a compendium of the thoughts and the writings of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar himself, titled Restructuring as a Pathway to Unity and Development, titled also, or in short, the Atiku Abubakar Files. Without much ado, I will take the books one after the other in seriatim, as I've mentioned. Beginning with the story of Atiku Abubakar. This book is a compendium or a collection of about 3 parts of 22 chapters with an epilogue, references, and indexes, all housed in 338 pages. Part 1 of the book talks about his early life. He was born in very humble circumstances and determined from a young age to take his destiny in his hands. That adversity has taught Atiku to be kind, caring, and compassionate. The loneliness of childhood made him a lover of people and of a large family. The tragedy of being orphaned at an early age instilled in him the virtues of hard work and independence and abiding faith in God. His 20 years career in the customs exposed him to the larger and more complex world outside the one he knew in southern Adamawa. And the politics taught him focus, determination, and the ability to understand, predict, and manage people. He had come at a time when momentous changes were sweeping through the world around him. Young Atiku was quiet, sensitive, a young boy at that time, and assisted his father on the farm and with livestock. Second part of the book gives a glance at way back in his 20 years career in customs, where he joined the service as a cadet assistant, preventive superintendent, and rose to the rank of deputy director before his retirement from the Federal Civil Service of Nigeria, with effect from 30th April 1989. While in the customs, he attended leadership and management courses in Finland, USA, and Egypt. In part 3, attempts to x-ray his political journey after his retirement from the civil service is captured here. And chapters like the People's Front of Nigeria, Social Democratic Party, the quest to be a governor, a candidate for the presidency, the Abuja Times takes his turn, the Phantom Coup, exile, because he was on exile, is all contained in the book. A fresh start are all contained in this book from pages 164 to 276. Upon retirement, Atiku went into private business. He soon launched an active political career and was elected as governor of Adamawa State and later Vice President of Nigeria in 1999. He was an elected member of the National Constituent Assembly before then, 1994 to 1995. He is a founding member of the governing People's Democratic Party, and before that, a founding member of the People's Front and Social Democratic Party. As Vice President, Atiku was the chairman of the National Economic Council and the National Council on Privatization, and many other presidential committees, including the task that admirably organized Nigeria's hosting of the 2004 Commonwealth Summit. Atiku is also widely recognized as the committed Democrat and a courageous fighter against executive impunity and the militarization of national politics. I would skip this very part and go to the next, which also talks about Atiku's life as a politician and as a public office holder, as well as some of the experiences he garnered. Atiku Abubakar is also a veritable phoenix of our democratic future. For out of the ashes of despair, brutality, cynicism, and strife of yesteryears has emerged his pillar of freedom, democracy, justice, and hope. The greatness of birth is not in being blue-blooded, but it is being able to survive despite all odds. Success is not judged only by what has been achieved, but also by the obstacles surmounted to achieve it. That is Atiku Abubakar in true perspective. He is a fellow of the St. Anthony's College, Oxford University, and in General School of Diplomacy and International Relations, Switzerland. He also holds honorary doctorate degrees from several Nigerian universities, Among them are Ahmadu Bello University, University of Maiduguri, Modibo Adama University, University of Calabar, etc. He was also bestowed with Nigeria's second highest national honor, the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON. He was also awarded the Harris Watford Global Citizen Award by the National Peace Corps Association of the United States of America. Atiku holds the traditional titles, several traditional titles, one of which is the Waziri of Adamawa, as well as the Zege Mule Utif, Zanna Zaltama of Borno, Zanna Kwashimara of Yobe, Shetima of Biu, Moyobero of Lagos, Onyeoha Ndibo of Iboland, etc. In conclusion on this very chapter of the book, I wish to state that Atiku Abubakar is a politician, a businessman, and a philanthropist. He is also committed to the development of Nigerians of all ages, and he has been consistently advocating for true federalism, passion for the growth, stability, and unity of this country. He is also always committed to promoting ideologies relevant to national integration, quality education, and economic development. Finally, on the book, Atiku, the story of Atiku, I would end this review as follows. This book is a must-read for everyone here who is desirous of living and realizing the Nigerian dream as exemplified by the life and times of Atiku Abubakar, the unifier. I go on to the next book. This next book is the one that is titled Landmark Constitutional Law Cases in Nigeria, 2004-2007, and it is a book that is premised on the infractions which His Excellency found out or discovered while he was Vice President, and he challenged them in court and succeeded. They were all 7 in number. In all, this 300-page book has 5 chapters and a very rich bibliography, a litany of statutes, and an appendix, both in the cases and statutes. The book is a product of years of research into the cases of constitutional infractions and breaches against the person and office of the former Vice President, which he challenged and won literally in all the Nigerian courts from 2004 to 2007. And I was privileged to be working with him those years and even attending the court cases, hence the need to chronicle them into a book. The decision to publish this book, according to the authors, was that it was in recognition of the contributions of the former Vice President, the development of democracy, and also the fight to ensure the entrenchment of fundamental human rights of all citizens in the country. Thus, these were the words of the Honorable Justice Ahiru Mustafa, a former Chief Justice of Nigeria, on page 3 of the foreword to the book, which says, and I read, unquote, "The landmark judgments contained in the 7 cases in this book at the instance of former Vice President Atiku justify the title of the book, as focus and emphasis was spread across the variety thorny issues which cover thought-provoking discourse on constitutional democratic governance in Nigeria. No doubt this book is a major contribution to the sustenance and growth of democratic governance in the body polity of Nigeria," unquote. Accordingly, I wish to call on all Nigerians, especially those of us present here, to commend this key figure, that is, the personal dramatist in the book, Atiku Abubakar, for his doggedness and astuteness in prosecuting these cases in his quest to defend or stand up for his fundamental human rights.
Thank you very much. The books are Landmark Constitutional Law Cases in Nigeria 2004 to 2007, the Atiku cases, and of course, Restructuring as a Pathway to Unity and Development. The other book is Summary and a Sneak Peek into the story of Atiku Abubakar, and the third book, which is the fourth of the books, The Bridge of Hope, the story of Atiku Abubakar. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together, distinguished guests. Let's honor and appreciate that. And now, Your Excellencies,
incoming President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, his beautiful wife, Her Excellency Hajia Amina Atiku Abubakar. We thank God for today, a very significant occasion. Here we are, joining our principal in the presentation of 3 very distinguished books. And the first of these books has to do with his biography. I have not read the books, but I have gone through, though scantily, the little script I found in the program concerning his biography. And what did I get from that? I learned from that little script here in the program that just as the Americans have the American dream, we Nigerians also have the Nigerian dream. Because this is a gentleman that has risen from a very humble background. And here he is today, having gone through various hierarchy in the political terrain, even as Vice President of this country, and today the presidential candidate of PDP. So we have learned a lot. So this book teaches a lot of lessons to every Nigerian, to the men, to the women, to the youth, to the adult. We all have lessons to learn from this biography, because we have our own Nigerian dream. I am here today, I will be very brief. I'm standing in as Mother of the Day. On behalf of every mother in Nigeria, I say congratulations, Your Excellency, for this wonderful event. On behalf of all PDP women, sir, I say congratulations a second time to you. And sir, there is something very significant we have not realized today. Today, INEC has lifted the ban for campaigns to start. And what are we seeing? You are starting your campaign with the launch or presentation of 3 books. And what does that tell us? It tells us how serious-minded you are. It tells us how much you love education. So that is the significance of this launch, coming on a significant day that INEC lifted the curtain for campaign. So your message to Nigerians is, you are a very serious person that takes education very seriously. And sir, I believe that by the time you get on board, you are not only going to focus on education, you are going to focus your attention on all aspects of development in Nigeria. And you are going to carry the women along, especially PDP women. Thank you very much, sir. We believe in you. You are going to be there and we are going to be with you in the mighty name of God. Once again, congratulations, sir.
Your Excellencies, the journey to Aso Rock 2023 has just officially begun.
First, I want to give the excuse of my national chairman, who is unavoidably absent, who is far away in Europe, addressing some health challenges, but all the same, he sent his goodwill message to all of you. As the window of the presidential campaign opens today, one of the major processes to rescue our beloved country, Nigeria, and Nigerians from the hostile, aggressive, and hunger-stricken grip of the APC government, this 28th of January, the rescue mission has begun. This is an enormous task that must be handled with all sense of patriotism to both the party and the entire citizens. The legacies of our party while in government at the center speak volumes. We can no longer stay by the side and not blow our trumpet. With all the undeniable achievement recorded during our reign, the campaign should be based on the achievements so far recorded by our successive governments and the present governors of PDP extraction that have done so well, more than their counterparts of the other party. As we all know, also, the PDP and indeed our presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has successfully piloted the affairs of this nation at a particular time. He has been tested. As such, Nigeria has no doubt in his capacity to rescue our dear nation from total collapse. While we are making every effort to unify all aggrieved individuals or groups arising from recent primaries, we know that PDP is more focused than now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a duty to our Creator to help us, to help also rescue this country from the clutches of those that want to set us to oblivion. You will also recall that this country has witnessed a negative change since the PDP left government in 2015. We have moved from hopeful and emerging economy to the infamous title of world poverty capital. It is also worth recalling the economic activities even during the challenges we have within the Northeast, that is the Boko Haram saga. Still the country was up and doing. Let me further place on record that God in his infinite mercies have provided Nigerians another opportunity to evaluate us and those that came after us. It is time to assess and do the needful. We are presenting our best in all shapes of elections, from the state assembly up to the presidential. We have gone through a transparent primaries which shows that this party is deeply rooted democratically. Let me restate that God has given us another opportunity to correct their wrongs in this election period. The PDP has brought out its best. To you, the members of the Presidential Campaign Council, you are all selected to be in this council because you have distinguished yourselves in your various endeavors. I sincerely trust that the confidence reposed on you by the party will be reciprocated by giving your best during this campaign season. I thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, our presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, I rise here to accredit the 600 member of the Presidential Campaign Council. I urge all members of the Presidential Council to please rise for inauguration. Mr. Chairman, these are 600-member People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Council for your inauguration.
The acting national chairman of our great party, by your special fiat, can you formally now inaugurate the Presidential Campaign Council for the Presidential Campaign 2022-2023?
By the powers conferred on me as the acting national chairman who is representing our national chairman, I hereby today inaugurate you as members of our Presidential Campaign Council today, January 28, 2022. I wish you all the best.
PDP! Power to the people! PDP!
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me use this opportunity and privilege to ask everybody to sit down. I thank you very much.
My fellow Nigerians, let's give our votes to Atiku Okowa for president 2023.
Our presidential candidate and his dear wives, our vice presidential candidate and his wife, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, all the governors here present, permit me not to extend this protocol because our time is fast spent. But I want to make some critical announcements. Number one, that I've been handed the Presidential Campaign Council committee members. We may not be able to name all. His Excellency Governor Udom Emmanuel as the chairman. His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde, Vice Chairman South. His Excellency Senator Bala Mohammed, Vice Chairman North. His Excellency Dr. Ayu, National Chairman. Our presidential candidate, our vice presidential candidate, former vice president, acting BOT chairman, our director general is His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. His Excellency Dr. Liel Imoke is Deputy Director General Operations. Professor Oladipo, Deputy Director General Administration. High Chief Raymond Dokbese, Deputy Director General Technical and Systems. His Excellency Okwesileze Nwodo, Deputy Director General Research and Strategy. I think others will get to know as we make further announcements and publications. Let me just start this acceptance speech, first of all, by appreciating all the stakeholders, the members of this great party, our party, the PDP. This is the only party that is termed as the largest party in Africa. This is one party that any unit you go in this country, you find PDP. So I really want to appreciate our party. Also thank the candidates, our presidential candidate for this confidence, and our party for the privilege for all of us to serve in this council. And I also want to thank all other members, the BOT, the National Working Committee. Few issues that we are sure will definitely lead to success. Number one, I want to say here that this campaign council, we have the seriousness that is required. If you look at the caliber of people, you know that we have that seriousness that is required. We'll do everything possible. And I want to assure you that as a campaign council, we also have the unity that is required to actually move us forward. Our duty is very simple. It is our duty to campaign, to carry the message, to publicize the message on how to rescue and restore the hope of Nigerians. It is for Nigerians to vote and for the Almighty to give victory. I want to say here that don't mind the doomsayers. I read everywhere all those doomsayers, PDP is this, PDP is that. I want to assure you that PDP is a solid rock. And if you know that no matter the wind on a rock, it does not move the rock. So irrespective of the wind that you see around the rock remains as solid as ever. So please, don't mind those doomsayers. We are here, we are very serious. We want to assure you that we are campaigning to win. And nothing is acceptable outside victory for PDP. But this will also require that all of us, we must also work. I recognize in particular that all of us, in this time around, there is no sitting in Abuja. Everybody will have to go back to carry the message home and make sure PDP is not an Abuja party. You win election from your unit to your ward, to your constituency, not by sitting in Abuja. The present campaign council will take the message back to the units. And I want to make that appeal that please, I've reiterated this when I gave my first interview, that I want to once again reiterate that if we had made mistakes in the past, we cannot wind back the clock. We cannot recall what passed yesterday, but we can move forward in the spirit of oneness, unity, prosperity, and progress for our party and for the sake of this country. So all of us must join hands, distinguished party colleagues, leaders of our great party, ladies and gentlemen, we must move this party forward. And I want to say here that this council, we have the passion, and I keep saying so. Once the passion is right, nothing is impossible. I want to assure you that we have the passion, we have the vigor, we have the capacity, we have the character, we have the integrity, and above all, we have the love for our country, Nigeria. Because all this is about the love of our country, Nigeria. And I want to assure you that we will win. And looking at all that it takes us, so I hereby, with every sense of humility, accept this appointment to serve as the chairman of our party, the Presidential Campaign Council, and commit to working with all organs of the party by involving every significant component in the task of ensuring electoral victory for PDP come 2023. I want to say here, you cannot give what you don't have. What we have is what we give. The peace that we also radiate, the peace that we also stand for, the peace we bring to PDP. My peace I give to PDP. Thank you and God bless you all.
We thank His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Your Excellency, the Governor of Sokoto State, Director General, Presidential Campaign Council, Chairman, PDP Governors Forum, Chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum, Alhaji Aminu Waziri Tambua.
Nigeria, the incoming President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, May 29th, 2023, Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar, our dear mothers, his dear wives, my brother, the running mate, distinguished Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa and his dear wife, former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Muhammad Namadi Sambo, GCON, the National Chairman of our party, in acting capacity, Ambassador Umar Mohammed Damagum, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, our great leaders, my colleagues, the governors that are here. Time is well and fast spent. Let me rest on the already established protocol, ladies and gentlemen. It is with humility and sense of purpose that I make these remarks as the Director General of the Campaign Council and which will serve as the vehicle to deliver the People's Democratic Party and its presidential flag bearer and his running mate to the Villa come May 29, 2023, by the special grace of God. Our chairman had spoken. All of us are going to hit the ground running, and we shall work collectively as a family and expeditiously to ensure the victory of our party. The party of the PDP, and indeed its candidate, is the party to beat in this election. It is only for us to work, and God on our side, we shall deliver this victory to our party and to Nigerians. We know the support that we enjoy in this country, and we appeal that INEC shall conduct free and fair elections. By so doing, victory, by the grace of God, is guaranteed for PDP. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and God bless you all.
We are on the roundup. Chinwe, let's round up. Everybody is getting tired.
PDP, power to the people.
Make you see better where they come up. Nigeria na correct place when it correct president Atiku Abubakar.
Our great party leaders, please do permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Today on my part is to truly appreciate the People's Democratic Party for giving to Nigeria the best products, and as somebody will put it, the best medication at a time that Nigeria has found herself very sick. And I truly thank God that today our presidential candidate stands very tall amongst all. He is one man that we can trust. He's one man that has the needed experience and the political will to turn things around. because our nation is truly very sick. Our nation is truly very sick, and we cannot, even as our children did show to us this afternoon, we cannot try those who are not yet experienced enough to deal with the issues. If you are sick, you look for a very competent consultant. You don't go to the doctor who just graduated yesterday. Nigeria is truly very sick, and we are confident that PDP has brought the best drug at the moment, the best medication to take care of Nigeria. I'm proud to be one man who is lucky to work with somebody who we all know in Nigeria as a strong bridge builder, somebody who is ready to unite our Nigeria, and somebody who believes in the rule of law. I'm proud to work with a man who has the needed experience both in security and intelligence, and who is ready to take Nigeria from the depths of where we have found ourselves to the proper place that we ought to be, starting on the first day, May 29, 2023. You can only do this when you have the needed experience. The Nigeria of today cannot afford a president who will learn on the job. And therefore, we must be proud as a party because we have presented the best. And we are glad as a party to speak truth to this. I know that all of us here are already articulated. It is not about us. It's about the message that we carry to Nigerians. And we must boldly and courageously go to Nigerians and engage them and ensure that this campaign is taken very seriously from the unit level through to our wards, our constituencies, our local governments, and across our states. Our leaders must be truthful, and they must realize that the leadership is back home and not in Abuja. And therefore, we must commit our all in goodwill to working for the presidential candidate. I was lucky to witness a very warm reception in Enugu yesterday as we consulted with our leaders in the Southeast. And looking through the array of leaders that were with us, I was very convinced that PDP, as we had always expected, will win the 5 states in the Southeast of this country. And I want to thank our leaders for that. I was privileged to be in Kano as we met with our South and Northwest leaders. I was very impressed with what I saw. We have been to the Southwest, the same very good story. And I know that as of today, and going into the elections, this party, the PDP, is the only party that is competing very strongly in every one of the 6 geopolitical zones of this country. All other political parties are either situated in 1 or 2, and they are losing grounds everywhere. But we are competing in the 6 geopolitical zones. And I'm sure that if our leaders lead this campaign in goodwill, that truly we will win in all the 6 geopolitical zones in the coming elections. Thank God for the product that we have, a man who is bold enough to promise Nigerians that he's going to devolve powers and resources to the sub-national governments. Not too many people will say that, but he has been consistent in this. And there lies the development of this country. It's not about being selfish. It's not about staying right there in Abuja and believing that every other state is just an appendage of the federal government. Our country will develop much better when the states control more resources and have more powers. Thank God for the state police that has been promised. Thank God because I know that our candidate has gone even much further. The legislation that will enable all this to be in place, he has already put it together. Thank God that we have a man who already has a document, my covenant with Nigerians. I challenge all other presidential candidates to present to Nigerians today their document and what they think they have for Nigeria. It's not enough to appear on television to say one thing or the other. It's not enough to be on the social media. They must commit to Nigerians what they want to do so that they can be judged going into the future and we can ask questions as to how they want to get there. My covenant with Nigerians is a document that has a road path to our success story, and everything is contained in there in a summary form. I believe that Nigerians are lucky at this moment, when all things appear to be bad, to have somebody who stands tall, who has an understanding, and who is ready to take us out of where we are today. May God bless this country as they vote for Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. I thank you so much, and I pray that as leaders, we will truly commit to that and go back home to truly get in the votes. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We thank the vice presidential candidate incoming. We have a rousing, and I welcome Senator Dino Melaye to take this very bit.
PDP! If you love Atiku, clap your hands. If you vote Atiku, clap your hands. If you vote Okowa, if you vote Okowa, clap your hands. The ran barefooted, single child of his mother, rose from a child to become a custom officer, became a governor, and today, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the most experienced of all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, if you agree with me, you will jam your hands together for the man who can sign, he can sign 10 papers in 1 minute. We are happy in PDP that we don't have a presidential aspirant that will take 10 minutes to sign one document. Atiku will sign 10 documents in 1 minute. Please clap for Atiku. We will waste no time. I want to invite to the microphone one single Nigerian with multiple competencies, a man indoctrinated with the art of civil administration and the rudiment of politics, Atiku Abubakar, the pacifier. The pacifier, the amplifier, and the unifier. Atiku! Atiku! Finally, PDP is taking over, finally. Finally, Atiku Okowa is taking over, finally. Finally. Are you sure they say? PDP is taking over, finally. Solomon Akwa they say. Finally. Police Cambodia they say. Atiku Okowa is taking over, finally. All the states in Nigeria, I say na PDP. PDP! Thank you very much. I know everybody is tired, everybody is hungry. Let's try and close this event for today. Your Excellencies, my wife's here, Your Excellency Vice President Namadi Sambo, Your Excellencies, our governors and former governors, senators, distinguished members or honorable members of the House of Representatives, both current and former, our candidates. Can we have some silence this way, please? Can we have some silence this way, please? We have been sitting here
to witness two events. One was the book presentation. I have always tried to shy away from public presentation on books, either on me or that I have helped to write. But I couldn't escape this one. And this is simply because my former governor, Governor Boni Haruna, got involved. And he has a way of influencing me in one way or the other. So I couldn't escape today's event. I want to thank the committee members for the work they have done. But I am not a believer of public presentation on books. But in the course of his speech, Boni tried to go personal in our relationship. I have no alternative other than also to go a bit personal or private in our relationship. When Boni became the governor, I am still not happy with the left of this side. Too much noise is coming from this left. I said to him, Boni, I know, having been a teacher and a public servant, when you become a governor, the first thing you do, you think of how to build a house and own a jeep or a car. I don't want you to think about that. I'm going to build a house for you, and I'm going to buy a jeep for you. And I built a house for him, and I also bought a jeep for him, while he still lives. This is simply because I did not want him to indulge in public finances. So, Your Excellency, since you decided to go a bit personal or private in our relationship, I thought I should also respond. Having said that, let me now go to why we are here at this moment. I decided to make only one speech because I was told after the book presentation I was to make a speech and then reappear again when the council is inaugurated. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome you all to today's inauguration. We are all gathered here for the inauguration of the Presidential Campaign Council set up by our great party, the People's Democratic Party, to diligently prosecute and win the general elections slated for February and March 2023. Even though this body is nominally styled Presidential Campaign Council, in reality, it is a General Elections Council as stated by the chairman of the Presidential Council himself. Because of what use or benefit is a victory of the presidential candidate alone, without a sweeping victory for all our other candidates at all of the elections taking place next year. I cannot govern alone. Majority of the people gathered here today are, like me, seasoned politicians with nothing but pure politics flowing through their veins for the love of their country and people. What is the number of one job of a politician like you and I? It is to navigate the murky waters of politics and to campaign for and win elections. So the inauguration of a presidential campaign council as the one we are all gathered here to witness today should be a normal occurrence in the normal life of normal politicians. But today is not an ordinary day. And the inauguration of today of our Presidential Campaign Council is not an ordinary event. Far from it. In May 2015, our great party, the People's Democratic Party, in an orderly, peaceful, and rancor-free manner, handed over the reins of government at the center to the opposition party, the APC, having lost the presidential elections a few months earlier. 4 years later, in 2019, and in spite of the drift, economic dissolution, challenges of insecurity, and massive dislocations to the lives of our citizens, witnessed under the APC government in those years, and notwithstanding that our great party had put before the Nigerian people a demonstrably better plan for recovery and development of our nation, our party was once again schemed out in the elections held that year in the most devious manner. It is a testament to the patriotism, dedication to constitutionalism, and law and order, and the unshakable belief in the rule of law and the supremacy of the cause in our land that our great party, the PDP, chose and pursued redress in the one and only way laid down by law and our Constitution through the courts. Of course, you all know how that ended, so there is no need to bore you with details. Since the loss at the polls of 2019 till now, and under the watch of the current APC government, our dear country has witnessed a frightening descent into anarchy. To start with, the current government has failed at the very essence of what makes a government, the security of lives and property of its citizens. Our security challenges are legion, and I do not need to rehash them here. Everybody has testified to that. Our economy is in shambles. Growth has stagnated, and our people are facing massive existential challenges daily and can barely make ends meet. Our nation is in disarray. The fabric of unity that binds our country is today being torn apart by mutual distrust, ethnic and sectarian strife, and we are now more disunited than we have ever been in our history, including even when we fought a civil war. Our educational system is comatose. Nothing more underscores this than the twin embarrassing facts of the number of children that are currently out of school, 20 million according to UNESCO, and the length of time that university students have been kept out of their classrooms this year as a result of the ASU strike. Our system of government is broken. Our current system is unfair, unwieldy, towards favoring the federal government at the expense of the other federating units, and has in itself become a willing tool for underdevelopment and corruption. This kind of system of government is no longer suited to the challenges of a 21st century economy that works for everyone and that is needed to bring development closer to our people. But all hope is not lost. We have a plan to address these issues and to arrest the drift of our nation. These plans have been laid out in my policy proposals titled My Covenant with Nigerians. Our plans for Nigeria and Nigerians are as follows: to restore Nigeria's unity through equity, social justice, mutual collaboration, and consensus among our diverse peoples. 2, to build a strong and effective democratic government where the safety and security of our people and their property is our primary and singularly most important responsibility. 3, to establish a strong, resilient, inclusive, and prosperous economy that generates opportunity, jobs, and wealth, rebuilds a vibrant middle class, and lifts millions of our poor out of poverty. To encourage the adoption of a true federal system where all the federating units are equal and has a fair and representative federal government that secures our borders, defends our people, and ensures national unity, while allowing the federating units to develop and grow in line with priorities which they have set on their own. To redevelop, invest, and strengthen our educational system in order to provide its recipients with the education and skills needed to compete in the new global order driven by innovation, science, and technology, as well as to live healthy, productive, and meaningful lives. To undertake these tasks, the members of our great party, the PDP, have graciously granted me the ticket to lead the party in next year's presidential elections, with the singular mandate to come and lead the efforts to cure these ills. So, what is our task that we are gathered here today to undertake? It is beyond merely coming together to inaugurate Presidential Campaign Council. No. Our task today is to come together to rescue and rebuild our beloved country, Nigeria. That is the end goal. It is existential to us as a nation, and it is a task that history beckons upon us all to grasp with both hands and undertake with vigor and zeal. But to rescue and rebuild our country, we must first take over the mantle of leadership from the party that has driven us into this mess. To do this, we must all be united in purpose and come together to fight and win all the elections slated next year. Every single person who loves this country, as I do, and I swear, is needed for the arduous task that faces us ahead as a nation, and this includes every member of our great party, the PDP. It is my fervent hope and prayer that every man and woman of goodwill will join hands with us to help rescue, rebuild, and reposition our beloved country, Nigeria. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the distinguished members of our Presidential Council, it is in the light of all I have said about that I want you to view today's inauguration. The tasks ahead may appear daunting. They may seem a load too heavy to bear. But for the sake of our country, and for the sake of our children, and for the sake of generations yet unborn, we must not, even for 1 minute, shirk in the responsibilities that we have been entrusted with to come together to rebuild this beloved country of ours. I wish to congratulate all the men and women nominated to serve in the Presidential Campaign Council. You have been selected from among the millions of our party members to join this esteemed council because of your past contributions to the party. Naturally, not all members of our party can be in the Presidential Campaign Council. But every single member of the PDP is an important member of the party, and each one of you is still entrusted with the responsibility of leading our party to victory in next year's elections. Those of you who have not found yourselves in the Presidential Campaign Council are just as important as those who have, and we do not take your contributions for granted. I wish you all the very best in your endeavors, and I welcome you all as you join me to lead the efforts to win next year's general elections and help rebuild our country. Together, as one, we can get this job done. May God guide and bless us all, and may God guide and bless our dear country, Nigeria. PDP! PDP! Power to the people! Power to the PDP! Thank you very much.
Finally. Atiku Okowa. All the states in Nigeria, I said,